In this video, we're going to look at a little bit easier method that we can use to access our instance variables. Now, this is a file that we've been using in other videos in this current section of our video series. I've saved it with a little bit different name because I'm going to modify it pretty extensively. Now, we've used in other videos these methods to get access to the values of these different variables, specifically the instance variable here that we've used. I'm going to get rid of all of these. In fact, I'm going to get rid of the class 1 variable 2 since it's not germane to our discussion. I'm going to replace this with something called, it's a method call. And actually I'm going to simplify this name. I'm just going to call it AI_var. Now you'll notice I used a little bit different nomenclature here, and I used a colon, and we'll cover that in other parts of our video series here, but this is a symbol, and essentially this method call expects a symbol, which is essentially just a name, and this could represent a string or it could represent a variable name, an instance variable name like this. So when you're setting these up, just remember, use a little bit different syntax with the colon in front of it here. Now I'm going to wrap this declaration up here. I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to put in a little method call called set AI_var, and it's just going to take boy, I like typing that end in there, don't I? That M in there. Okay. So now we can set that, and then we should be able to read it. And notice I didn't have to do a method for it or anything, so I'm going to launch my IRB here. I'm going to load that particular file. Notice I changed that name. And let's instantiate a new book. Should load that one. Let's go ahead and set AI_var, and let's set it to 1, 2, 3, 4, and make sure I got my names matching up. Okay. Now we should be able to call BA. And this right here is matching this guy right here. So this should return a value of 1, 2, 3, 4 if we've done this correctly. There we go. We set it up right. So essentially this helped me set up like a getter method for this. But we can even take this one step further. If you have a variable that you need to really access, we can put this in here. Get rid of that other method call. Let's reload this and reinstantiate it. Now let's do a book, and then I'm just going to put IV_var equal 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's do BA_var, and it returns our value. So this little method call got me all that stuff with those other methods, all those getter and setter methods, and you can actually bundle more in here. So we can have another var here and keep on going, as many as you need to do that. Now keep in mind that you want to be careful doing this because you're giving access into these variables, so you need to intend that this code has these instance variables accessible and not just protected inside the code. Now you saw the reader one, and there's one other one, which is you can have a writer and would make these writable, but you wouldn't be able to read them. And that maybe that you're setting a value that's going to get used internally by a method or something. That's where you'd want to use that. So those are 3 very powerful little method calls that you can use in a class declaration to make it very easy to use instance variables.